Hello and welcome. Thank you guys for joining us for Kineo Office Hours. Today we are really excited to be rolling out what we are calling the Kineo Training Hub and Refresh sites. So go ahead and page forward for us. Today I am joined with Alex Carrick. He is our other platforms consultant, and he's done a whole lot of work on the Training Hub and the Refresh site. So I wanted him to join us to do this rollout today. So we are both here. Say hi, Alex.
Good morning, everyone. Or I guess it's technically afternoon now.
Technically afternoon, yeah. I guess unless you're on the West Coast. So the first one that we have here is the Kineo Training Hub, and Alex is going to talk about that, and then I will talk about the Refresh site.
Sure. So the Kineo Training Hub is pretty much just what it sounds like, is we wanted to set up a hub for training. We realized as we went around looking at our offerings, between YouTube videos and administration guides and the Totara help, there was a lot of resources in a lot of different places, and what we really were pushing for was a place where we could put them all under one roof to really help all Kineo clients, to help Taylor and myself, to help our support team, really to be kind of a value add for what we provide as Kineo. So Taylor and I have been working diligently for the last couple months, going through approval processes and content and putting things together and theming and everything that goes into kind of our own LMS implementation for what it looks like. So as you can see, we have a screenshot of the front page here, and I'm actually going to see if I can't go into an actual page. So you'll notice it is itself a Totara site. So we have this. I am in my personal account. You'll see that I've got some asynchronous training that I have been logged into. I have my own account. I'm getting badges. You'll notice there's a link to the Kineo Refresh site, which Taylor will be talking about a little later. And we have some quick hitting resources right at people's fingertips to get to our YouTube channel, to sign up for office hours, to go towards the Totara documentation, so that we can really use this site as a place to make announcements. You'll notice we have office hours listed here. Really, our possibilities are endless, and we feel like we've really only scratched the surface on what we're able to do. So as an example of some of the things that we're looking at is being able to run our training program for new clients through the Training Hub, but also use it as a place that you can go to find information. So I should also mention everything right now is in, let's call it a beta form. So you may notice as you, if you go in and peek around, that things may change color, they may change where they're at, they may appear differently from day to day, and that's to be expected. If there's ever anything that you think could use improvement, or you're like, hey, the site is great, it could be even better if, fill in the blank, let us know that. We want this to be a site that is useful, because otherwise then what's the point of having it? So were you jumping in with something, Taylor?
Nope, just agreeing with you. Go ahead.
Perfect. So to give you an idea, through our Totara implementation training, we've broken out our training into a couple different pieces. So for example, within a course looking at activities, resources, and blocks, it's also worth mentioning, re-recorded all of our training videos for Core Totara for version 11. So all of these are brand spanking new. We've also updated, obviously, the transcripts for those videos, so that if you were looking for help on activities and resources and blocks, you've got the video, you've got the transcript, we have helpful links to the Totara documentation, as well as embedded videos for any office hour sessions that we've done on that topic in the past. So really hoping to keep everything in one spot, and as more resources are created, more office hour sessions are recorded, being able to keep these up to date and be kind of a living resource. Now, what we haven't done yet and what we're looking to do is we want to be able to make essentially a course for every Kineo client so that as we do trainings, as we create documentation, there's a site or a place on the Training Hub for clients to come and get that information. You know, maybe you have a new administrator who's starting fresh and they need to get up to speed on your solution. They could come and watch previous training sessions. They could get all the documentation that has been collected for you. And being able to make sure that's all up to date and in one spot. We've kind of gone back and forth on what that looks like. We're thinking it might be something similar to this with the different videos and documentation and links, probably a little bit more branding around, but that's something that as we move forward, we're hoping to evolve. As well as this site allows us to have different reports, different trainings. We're going to use a lot of plugins, Kineo plugins on the website. So this will also be a place where you'd be able to look and find training and documentation for the various things that we've developed at Kineo. And we're also looking to do some really groundbreaking stuff when it comes to XAPI and being able to use the Training Hub as an example of what a great XAPI site, great XAPI implementation looks like and what you can do with that information. So now, as I'm sure you're wondering, you know, how do I get to this site? How do I have access? When is it going to be available? So the short answer is right now. You should be able to go to traininghub.kineo.com and create an account. For any current Kineo clients, you'll be able to get through the whitelist with your email address and create an account and get in there. And then for anyone else, that would go to an approval process for Taylor and I to make sure that we get those approvals through. And then you'll be able to use the site. And you know, the plan is that as we develop training, as we develop plugins, it will be an ever-growing resource for Kineo clients. Taylor, is there anything that I am missing on this?
No, I think the only thing that I would add is, again, go to traininghub.kineo.com, create your account. If you have any trouble creating that account, let myself or Alex know. We'll be happy to help you in any way we can. But you should be able to self-enroll in most all of the courses. If you are a new client, then you should already be enrolled in the Kineo Implementation Asynchronous course. That particular one is mainly available only to our new clients, but you'll be able to access all of the additional resources that you may want to by just going to the Find Learning tab and enrolling in any of those courses. Yeah, agree with Alex. We're going to continue to grow this site. We're really excited about it. This has been a long time coming, and please give us any suggestions on how we can make it better for you, more accessible for you.
Yep,
Cool.
And Taylor, of course, as you say that, my first thought is we should probably find a place, maybe a forum or something where people can submit feedback to let us know what they think.
That would be a great idea. We will put something like that on the front page so that you guys can access that. See, it's changing all the time. Excellent. So I will talk about the refresh site. I think, Alex, you got to give me, maybe not. Let's see.
Yep, I think I can get you.
Cool. There we go. I have no idea which screen I'm sharing now. Let me make a change here. Ah, I was sharing the right one. Okay, so let's take a look at, got all kinds of stuff open, but not the right thing. All right, so let's take a look at the refresh site. So this is, as Alex showed, on the Training Hub, there is a link out to the refresh site. So the purpose of the refresh site is basically an environment where you can log in as an administrator, you can log in as a staff manager, or you can log in as a learner. You can do anything on the site that you want to. You're not going to break it. Feel free to make administrative changes to the site. Anything that you want to do, you can test out any of your scorum, anything that you're trying to work with. If you want to see what it looks like as a staff manager to have a couple of direct reports and what it looks like for those individuals to have participated in learning, to have done something on the site, we have some basic information in there. Anything that you do on this site, it's not going to be retained any longer than 24 hours. So one thing to be aware of, don't use our site to create stuff that you want to keep, but definitely use it to test. Definitely use it to explore. If you need an environment to play around with some of the things that you're learning in the Training Hub, if you want somewhere to go and try that out, feel free to utilize the refresh site. So I'm going to log in here first as an admin. And this is a full administrative account. I know a lot of times when you have these refresh sites, it seems like they don't really give you full administrative access, but we've given you full administrative access, so you will see the entire admin menu when you come in here and take a look at it. You can create additional roles. You can use it for testing roles, testing what different permissions do. We encourage you to do that. We want you to do that. Another nice thing about the refresh site is each role that you log into as, there will be a site tour of those different roles. So for example, I'm logged in as the admin. It's just kind of giving me a nice little site tour of just some major things to point out that an administrator may utilize on a site, right? So you have the ability to do those as each individual role. We don't have a whole lot on this site, but that was the goal. Give you a place to work, give you an environment to work and play in. If you want to log in as one of the staff managers, you can do that to see what that looks like. So I'm just going to log in as staff manager 1. As with the Training Hub site, you may see some things change and adapt and grow on this site as well. We are going to go down for maintenance for just a very brief time coming up here in the next week or so. But other than that, it should be up and ready for you to get in there and play around. So you'll see here as the staff manager, I go into the team tab. The staff manager does have a few reports, and they are able to see a few completions and courses started, things of that nature. You can also come in here and build reports. This is a version 11 instance, so if maybe you're having something funky happen on your version 9 site and you just want to, you wish you had a version 11 site to test, use the refresh site. We will be keeping the refresh site up to date as far as the latest version, so if you need to test out something on the latest version, you can always come to the Kineo refresh site to do that. It is located at kineo-refresh.demo.us.kineo.com. It's a really long URL, but we will put it into the comments in the YouTube link, and that way you guys do have access to these. So that's just kind of the refresh site in a nutshell. It does, on this site also, we have a course on here called the Basics. In the Basics course, you'll see that there are just a variety of different activities and resources. It is every activity and every resource that you can create on the site. For the most part, I don't think we've missed much of anything, but you can come in and kind of see what they look like, access some immediate documentation about those different activities and resources. And if you wanted to, this is a great way to test out different course formats, because this is a course with content in it. So if you don't know what it's going to do to switch between one course format to another, this would be a fabulous place to do that testing. Because again, whatever you do, it's not going to retain it. It's going to refresh after 24 hours. if you guys have any questions or options on how we can improve the refresh site, let us know. We're open and want your feedback on all of these things. Alex, can you think of anything that I've left out about the refresh site?
I think the big thing is it's really used as a testing ground. So if you don't want to ruin, a UAT site, if you've got new employees, maybe you're trying to train a new administrator, this is a great place to do that. But the big thing, remember, is that if you are going to create anything in that site, you need to transfer it somewhere else or it will be refreshed.
Right. Yep. Excellent. Do you have any questions? Anybody have any questions for us today? And it doesn't have to be about the refresh site or the training hub. That's the purpose of office hours, is for you to come in here and ask any questions that you have. So if you have any questions about that, that's great. We're happy to field those questions. But if you have any additional questions, now's the time. The floor is open.